If you're looking for a simple and easy cookie recipe, try out my very basic vanilla cookie recipe, which is going to turn out sturdy, crunchy, and very delicious. I enjoy munching on my vanilla cookies with a glass of cold milk, and once you try out the recipe, it's going to be a favorite. To make these crunchy, delicious vanilla cookies, you'll need a few ingredients, which are going to be very basic. So you'll need some margarine. You can switch the margarine with some softened butter. I have some sugar, vanilla essence, which is going to add in a very nice flavor to our cookies. Some raising agent. So I have baking powder, all-purpose flour, and salt. Also, you need a few kitchen utensils. That is a rolling stick, a spatula, palette knife, and a cookie cutter. If you don't have a cookie cutter, you can simply use a glass to cut out the cookies. So in a mixing bowl, you're going to start off by adding your margarine. For this recipe, you don't need any equipment to make your cookies. All you need is your spatula. So using my spatula, I'm going to mix in my margarine for around a minute. Whipping up the margarine is going to make the cookies very soft. So at this point, you're going to preheat your oven at 180 degrees Celsius for 10 minutes. Then you're going to line your baking tray with parchment paper, just like mine, so that it can be easier for you to bake the cookies. So I'm going to keep my tray aside, and into my bowl, I'm going to be adding in sugar. As you're mixing in the sugar together with the margarine, make sure to scrape your bowl so that all the ingredients can get fully combined. Then next, I'm going to be adding in 2 eggs. To help me whip up my eggs, margarine, and sugar together, I've switched the spatula with a whisk, which is going to make it very easy for me to whip up everything until very fluffy. So it's going to take you around 1 to 3 minutes to whip up everything. And once done, you're going to add in your vanilla essence. Add in baking powder, salt, mix all the ingredients together. Then lastly, I'm going to be adding in my all-purpose flour gradually. So back to my spatula, I'm going to fold in the flour into the eggs, margarine, sugar, and the rest of the ingredients. Carefully folding in. Add in some more flour. Make sure to scrape the bottom of the bowl so that all the ingredients can get fully combined. And mixing all the ingredients, it's going to take around a minute. And once all the flour is fully combined and a dough is formed, you're going to transfer to your countertop. So I'm going to lightly flour my countertop. Transfer my dough. Get everything from the bowl. You don't want to waste all this goodness. Then I'm going to knead my dough for around 30 seconds carefully. Just like that. Using a rolling pin, you're going to roll out your dough to 1 inch, and it's going to be very easy for you to roll out because you have already added some flour to your working surface and the dough is not sticky at all. As you can see, it's not sticking on my rolling stick. Using your cookie cutter, you're going to cut out your dough. Carefully, I'm going to lift up the excess dough, placing aside. And using your palette knife or using your hands, you're going to carefully lift up your dough just like this and transfer to your baking tray. And once done transferring the cookie dough on my baking tray, I'm going to be baking my vanilla cookies at 180 degrees Celsius for 9 to 12 minutes. While my cookies are baking, I'm going to sprinkle in some extra flour to my working surface, and then I'm going to be rolling out the remaining dough. So it's going to be very fun if your kids are involved, because yeah, this is cookie dough and kids love cookies. Cut out my dough once more, just like this. And then I'm going to finish recycling the dough. My first round of cookies is ready. And the cookies look fantastic. I'm going to wait for around 2 minutes so that the cookies can cool a little bit, so that it can be easier for me to lift up the cookies and transfer to a cooling rack where the cookies are going to cool completely. Baking time depends on how you cut out your cookies. So if your cookies are thick, you're going to be baking your cookies for around 10 to 15 minutes. And if they are half an inch like mine, you're going to be baking your cookies for around 9 to 12 minutes. And you shouldn't worry about the tops. As you can see, they are not brown, but the bottom is brown. That means that the cookie is well cooked. As you can see, the cookies have cooled such that I can handle the cookies. So I'm going to be transferring the cookies. Whenever I'm baking, I usually get super excited because I know the outcome is going to be very incredible. And also I love the aroma when baking in the kitchen. You notice that the bottom is brown. That shows that the cookies are well baked. So it has been an amazing 30 minutes of cooking and preparing the dough for my cookies, and everything has turned out perfect. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you'll be giving this recipe a try, and the cookies are going to turn out just delicious.